To celebrate the holidays, we're bringing you 12 days of family history research.
So we're going to take this opportunity to get back to basics of family history research.
And each day we'll bring you a different strategy that will help you find your family. Merry Christmas from Journey Through the Generations. Hey everybody, welcome back to Journey Through the Generations. My name is Phillip.
Hey guys, I'm Trisha.
And we're back with day 2 of our 12 Days of Family Research 2024 series. And today we are going to talk about a podcast that we certainly enjoy listening to. It's called Speak On It, History and Genealogy Conversations with Janice and Cherekana. So this podcast is hosted by our good friend, our buddy, Janice Gilliard and Cherekana Feliciano. Now, we've met Janice in person.
Yeah.
She's an awesome individual.
Love her.
I can't wait to see her, hopefully in March at Roots Tech. But we haven't met Cherekana in person.
We are ready to meet you, Cherekana.
Right. And I hope that she's going to be at Roots Tech this year so we can meet her. But, the times that we've talked to her, it's been over Zoom. And she's awesome. I'm sure she's going to be a great person to sit down and talk with, too. So, yeah, let's talk about their podcast.
Their podcast started with Bernice Bennett. I don't know if you know the story.
I do.
Okay. Bernice Bennett had a podcast, Research and Beyond at the National Archives. And I don't know how it got passed down to Janice and Cherekana, but it did. And they kind of revamped it and made it their own. And when I say it is a fabulous podcast, they have done amazing with it. I completely enjoy it.
Yeah, and if you're interested in genealogy, not just genealogy, history too, if you're interested in either of those or both of them, this is going to be the podcast for you because they talk about those stories that Trisha talks about or just mentioned. The family history stories matter.
Yes.
And we've talked about that before in the past is we need to tell our stories. We're in charge of our stories. And what is that you say all the time about, telling our own stories?
No one can tell your story better than you can.
That's right.
And a lot of people think that it has to be written in a blog, in a book. But you can tell your story just as well on a podcast. And this is what this podcast actually does. People come on, authors, bloggers, things like that. They come on, they tell their stories of how they researched their family, the stories that they've learned, and they are basically sharing their family history stories with us.
All these great people that they have on their podcast, including the great Phillip and Trisha with Journey Through the Generations.
That was an awesome experience being guest on their podcast. And when I say that they are just so welcoming and they make you feel so comfortable, they make you want to tell your story. And it was just an awesome experience.
Yeah, I think they think like we do, right? We feel like people have a story to tell and they should. And yeah, like Trisha said, it doesn't have to be this, big, long, epic saga or dissertation or all this stuff about your story. About your history. Just tell the story. You can do it orally. You can, write down, jot some notes down, blog. You can do it, with pictures.
Yes.
You can do that a lot of different ways.
Yeah, and one of the things that I love about this podcast is it's not just about people who are well known in the genealogy community that they interview. They interview everybody, musicians, artists, people who have come to genealogy because of something that happened in their life, and they have interviewed, people who are well-renowned genealogists and family historians as well.
Yeah, so if you want to listen to podcast episodes about family history and genealogy and why telling your story matters, you can go and listen to speak on it on Blog Talk Radio. I'll leave a link to their site in the description box of this episode. And you should follow them on their Facebook and Instagram.
Absolutely.
So yeah, go and support Janice and Cherekana. If you talk to them, tell them that you heard about them from us. And I think that's probably about it for today.
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right, guys, thank you for listening. We appreciate you. We hope you come back and listen to day 3 of the podcast, which will be tomorrow, the day after day 2.
Thanks, guys.
All our social media information is in the description box of this episode. We'll talk to you guys later. Peace.